It was announced on 8chan, live streamed on Facebook. It was replayed on YouTube, commented on Reddit, many other websites. It was available hours after the attack. What, if anything, are companies doing to stop the dissemination of hatred?
I mean, this is not the first time that this has happened, that a live streaming platform has been used to broadcast, an act of violence, an attack like this. Sometimes, this is something that's been out there. The companies have been, since 2016, allowing live streaming, and this debate has happened several times. And at the end of the day, the companies say, we're going to try our best. We are building new AI algorithms to try to identify what's going on in a video and block it before anyone even sees it. Clearly, they're not able to do that, especially in cases like this. I mean, if you think about how complicated it is to figure out what's going on in a video and actually code that into an algorithm that can watch that video and stop it from airing, it's very difficult. The bigger challenge and question that I have here for Google and Facebook and some of the other platforms is, okay, you took the video down quite soon after being notified that it was happening. Okay, your AI didn't recognize it right away, but then once you have the video, how are you allowing it to continue being posted by other people who've recorded it and then are posting it again on YouTube? And so at this point, I mean, YouTube is very good at stopping ISIS videos, for example, specific videos that have been released by other terrorists that can be identified, and you can sort of see this is a video, wherever it else crops up, we'll hit it with a hammer. They weren't able to do that immediately this morning.
Does this mean that we can expect more government regulation? As you say, time after time, there is a mea culpa. We could have done better. We should have taken it down faster. We didn't do enough here. At what point does the regulatory story just go into overdrive?
I mean, I think the story has been in overdrive, and I think this definitely will add, more energy to that, more fuel to that, more emotion to that debate and that drive for figuring out what's going on here. I mean, I think you will see people asking the question, should live streaming be canceled? That's a question that has been asked. The answer from the companies has been, overwhelmingly that most live streaming is good, sometimes can actually lead to positive social outcomes and that kind of thing. And so they've decided to continue doing it. I think that, I'm sure inside the companies, they're asking that question of themselves again today.
We ran an amazing story a few weeks ago about employees of these companies that are responsible for this kind of work, for, taking down offensive content, deciding on offensive content, and how it was giving them psychological problems. They were underpaid, they were contractors, they didn't have benefits and so on. What can companies do to even make what they have in place already better? I mean, it's clear that this is a very grueling task for anybody, let alone somebody who's being underpaid to do it.
I think that this may also bring a change in this debate, because the companies have done everything that they feasibly can. I mean, Facebook and Google have hired thousands of people, right? And they've also have the best AI minds in the business. They have the best computer scientists working on these really challenging problems. When you talk to people who work at Facebook, being on the safety and security team is like the place you want to be. It's the most interesting problem. And they still haven't been able to, really respond quickly to the way that people want them to respond to incidents like that. So maybe this is the incident that says, okay, we're just not going to have live streaming anymore or something like that. But at the end of the day, it's hard to imagine what more they can do. Hire another 3,000 people, another 3,000 people to watch and flag videos. We'll see what they do.
Garrett, Facebook is trying to change its business model. It's moving towards more privacy-based, sort of private network type communication. To what extent will that solve some of this problem?
I mean, going private, it doesn't necessarily solve problems. I mean, it changes them. And I don't think that even though Facebook is doubling down on private communication, that they're going to get rid of this sort of town square, open, public access communication that they've, essentially built for society. The private communication has been shown, the problem with that one is we can't actually see what's going on. We can't see what group chats are sharing, what people are sharing one-on-one. And in countries like Brazil, Sri Lanka, and India, there have been a lot of violent incidents that have happened because of rumors and fake news and racist information that's been spread through closed groups like WhatsApp, which is already encrypted in some of these places.
Can lawmakers or federal authorities do anything right now in this country, or do you know of any other countries where they can, to stop this kind of thing, to force companies to shut down live stream if it's not working right now, and until they have the proper safety checks in place, they cannot do that kind of thing?
You saw in Sri Lanka, which is a country that is not as connected to sort of the Western democracies, for better or for worse, and they were sort of not getting as much attention, unfortunately, when there was violence going on in their country on Facebook platforms. What they did is they just pulled the plug on Facebook. They said, okay, you know what, we're not going to allow this. We're just going to, ban you from the internet for a period of time while we can sort this out. And I'm not sure that that will happen in New Zealand, but I do think New Zealand is going to respond very strongly. This is a small community, a small country that has been very, very seriously damaged at this point. And so I can see there being political requests at that country, at least, to sort of do something drastic, maybe along those lines.